Welcome back. Today we will learn about the intriguing possibility that Susan Banks could be the unexpected savior in Johnny Dimara's escalating legal battle. In the ever-twisting world of Salem, where family loyalties clash with hidden secrets, Susan Banks emerges as a potential game-changer in the mystery surrounding E.J. Dimara's shooting. Known for her quirky personality and uncanny psychic abilities, Susan might just unlock the truth that could set her grandson Johnny free from the shadow of false accusations. As the trial heats up, whispers in Salem suggest her return could shatter the fabricated evidence that's been pinning the blame on the wrong people, forcing everyone to confront a darker reality hidden within the Dimara family dynamics. Diving deeper into this storyline, spoilers indicate that Susan's bizarre visions, often dismissed as mere eccentric ramblings, could pinpoint the actual perpetrator behind EJ's attack. Imagine Susan, with her signature flair for the dramatic, experiencing flashes of insight that reveal not just the shooter's identity but also the motives tangled in jealousy and revenge. These hallucinations aren't random, they're tied to her deep emotional connection to her son EJ, pushing her to delve into the chaos that unfolded that fateful night. Could her clairvoyant glimpses expose how the real events diverged from the manipulated narrative, ultimately proving Johnny's innocence before EJ's fragmented memories resurface and complicate matters further? It's no secret among devoted fans that Johnny did not pull the trigger on his father, despite the mounting pressure from authorities. The so-called evidence, cleverly doctored to implicate Chanel Dimara, has created a web of deception that's ensnaring the young couple. This fake proof, including a suspicious memory card loaded with altered conversations, paints Chanel as the guilty party, but insiders know it's all a smokescreen. Adding a layer of intrigue, perhaps Susan's involvement could introduce new clues, like overlooked fingerprints or a misplaced item from the crime scene, that tie back to an unexpected family member, heightening the suspense as the courtroom drama unfolds. Loyal viewers are well aware that Chanel would go to extraordinary lengths to shield Johnny, refusing to let him bear the brunt of a crime she didn't commit. Her fierce protectiveness stems from their shared history of overcoming obstacles, from business ventures gone awry to personal heartbreaks, making her determination all the more poignant. Yet, the roadblock comes in the form of Belle Black, whose steadfast refusal to dismiss the charges against Johnny adds tension to the plot. Belle's legal stance, influenced by her own family's turbulent past with the Dimaras, might force Susan to step in with visionary evidence that challenges the prosecution's case, potentially swaying the judge with supernatural twists that Salemites have come to expect. Chanel's frustration boils over as she realizes the memory card submitted as evidence contains fabricated details she never uttered, raising questions about tampering that no one in law enforcement seems eager to investigate. This oversight could be deliberate, perhaps orchestrated by powerful figures in Salem who benefit from the confusion. To expand on this, envision a scenario where Susan, during a family gathering, accidentally brushes against the card or a related object, triggering a vision that unmasks the forger, adding a thrilling element of psychic detective work to the narrative. Such a revelation would not only vindicate Chanel but also expose the depths of deceit within the Dimara empire, where alliances shift like sand. The mastermind behind this counterfeit evidence? None other than EJ himself, who engineered it in a desperate bid to ensnare Chanel and settle old scores. His plan backfired spectacularly, leaving room for Susan's intuitive powers to fill the void. In a creative twist, spoilers hint that Susan might confront EJ directly in his hospital room, her visions clashing with his amnesia, leading to an emotional showdown where buried family secrets surface. This could include invented elements like a long-lost Dimara heirloom that holds symbolic clues, enriching the storyline with layers of inheritance drama and betrayal that fans crave. When Susan last visited Salem, she picked up on an unusual aura emanating from Johnny, sensing his inner turmoil over family betrayals without realizing the full extent. Johnny's rage toward EJ, fueled by revelations of paternal manipulations, made him a prime suspect, but Susan's empathy could now redirect suspicion elsewhere. Perhaps she envisions the true sequence, Johnny storming off in anger, only for another figure to seize Roman Brady's gun and fire the shot. Inventing a new detail, maybe Susan's vibe extends to sensing residual energy from the weapon, linking it to a child's impulsive act, which ties into growing theories about younger characters' involvement. Speculation swirls that Susan's touch on Rachel Black could unlock the shocking truth, with leaks suggesting Rachel might be the accidental shooter, driven by overhearing heated arguments. This child-centric twist adds a heartbreaking dimension, as Rachel's innocence collides with dim-era ruthlessness. Susan, ever the compassionate soul, might hesitate to accuse a young girl, but her visions could provide irrefutable proof, like a flashback to Rachel grabbing the gun in a moment of confusion. This element introduces moral dilemmas, questioning how far the family will go to protect its youngest members from legal repercussions. Susan's unwavering resolve to aid her son EJ has been evident since news of the shooting broke, prompting her brief return before she headed back to her husband. However, with Johnny now facing trial as the accused, her protective instincts as a grandmother are bound to draw her back to Salem's chaotic fold. Picture Susan arriving unannounced at the courthouse, her flamboyant style contrasting the somber proceedings, ready to testify about her premonitions. This could lead to invented scenes where she collaborates with Marlena Evans for a hypnosis session, blending psychology with the supernatural to unearth suppressed memories. In the face of potentially labeling a child as a culprit, Susan would undoubtedly struggle, her kind heart torn between truth and family bonds. Yet, by sharing her visions, she could steer investigators toward overlooked leads, such as Rachel's unexplained absences that night or hidden motives tied to parental disputes. This direction not only frees Johnny but also explores themes of accountability in youth, adding depth to the soap's exploration of generational trauma. Ultimately, the burning question remains, will Susan's revelations provide the breakthrough evidence to exonerate Johnny, or will they unravel more dim-era scandals? As Rachel's possible role comes under scrutiny, Salem braces for accountability that could redefine family ties. Stay tuned, as this storyline promises more twists, visions, and heartfelt confrontations in the days ahead. Hospital drama and hidden agendas, a tale of power, threats, and redemption in the heart of Salem's bustling General Hospital. A storm is brewing, one that threatens to upend the delicate balance of power and trust among its staff. At the center of this tempest is Kayla Johnson, the hospital's steadfast chief of staff, a woman known for her compassion, resilience, and unwavering commitment to her patients and colleagues. But now, Kayla faces a challenge unlike any she's encountered before, a relentless adversary in the form of E.J. DiMera, a man whose ambition and cunning know no bounds. For those who followed the drama unfolding in Salem, this clash of titans is more than just a workplace dispute. It's a battle of wills, principles, and the very soul of the hospital. Kayla's burden. A hospital under siege. Kayla Johnson has spent decades building a legacy at General Hospital. Her calm demeanor and sharp medical expertise have made her a beloved figure among staff and patients alike. She's the kind of leader who knows every nurse's name, remembers the birthdays of the janitorial staff, and stays late to ensure every patient receives the care they deserve. But lately, her days have been darkened by the shadow of E.J. DiMera, a powerful figure in Salem's elite circles, whose influence extends far beyond the hospital walls. E.J., with his polished suits and razor-sharp wit, has made it clear he wants Kayla out of her position as chief of staff. His reasoning? A vague but persistent demand to streamline operations and, most critically, slash the hospital's budget. To Kayla, these aren't just numbers on a spreadsheet. They're the lifelines of her staff and patients. Cutting the budget could mean fewer nurses on the night shift, outdated equipment, or even the closure of the hospital's free clinic, a program Kayla fought tooth and nail to establish. The thought of these cuts weighs heavily on her, as she knows they would devastate morale among the staff, who already work grueling hours to keep the hospital running smoothly. The tension between Kayla and E.J. crackles like static in the air. Their meetings, once professional, have become battlegrounds. E.J.'s demands are delivered with a smirk, his tone laced with condescension as he questions Kayla's every decision. For him, it's not just about the budget, it's personal. Teasing Kayla, pushing her to the brink, has become a game he relishes. He seems to take pleasure in watching her struggle to maintain her composure, her hands clenched tightly under the conference table as she defends her vision for the hospital. In a particularly heated exchange, Kayla, pushed to her limit, issued a warning that sent ripples through the hospital's corridors. "If you don't let me run this hospital my way, EJ," she said, her voice steady but edged with steel, "I'll make sure you're out of here before you can say, early retirement." It was a bold move, one that stunned those within earshot. Kayla, known for her diplomacy, had drawn a line in the sand. But EJ, unfazed, merely raised an eyebrow, his smile never wavering. He didn't take her threat seriously, not yet. To him, Kayla's resistance is just another obstacle to be overcome, another pawn to be moved in his grand chess game. A frosty standoff, power and pride. The relationship between Kayla and EJ is a study in contrasts. Kayla, with her deep-rooted commitment to the hospital's mission, represents stability and heart. EJ, on the other hand, is a force of disruption, a man who thrives on control and doesn't care whose toes he steps on to get it. His insistence on budget cuts isn't just about fiscal responsibility, it's a power play, a way to assert dominance over Kayla and the hospital she holds dear. The staff, caught in the crossfire, can feel the chill in the air whenever the two are in the same room. Whispers in the break room speculate about how long this standoff can last before something, or someone, breaks. Kayla's allies, including her husband Steve and close friend Sarah Horton, urge her to stand firm. They know that giving in to EJ's demands would mean sacrificing the hospital's soul. But the pressure is immense. EJ's influence extends beyond the hospital, into the boardrooms and social circles of Salem's elite. There's talk of a new candidate for chief of staff, someone more aligned with EJ's vision, a prospect that fills Kayla with dread. The idea of someone else taking over, someone who might prioritize profit over patience, keeps her awake at night. Yet, she refuses to back down. For Kayla, this isn't just about her job, it's about protecting the legacy of care she's built over decades. A subtle scheme, EJ's dangerous game. While Kayla fights to protect her hospital, EJ is playing a different kind of game, one that extends beyond the hospital walls and into the murky waters of Salem's underbelly. Enter Leo Stark, a man with a checkered past and a knack for finding himself in the middle of trouble. EJ, ever the strategist, sees Leo as a potential ally in another battle. Saving his son, Johnny, from a murder charge that could destroy his life. Johnny DiMera, EJ's pride and joy, stands accused of murdering his father, a crime that has sent shockwaves through Salem. The trial is the talk of the town, with every resident weighing in on Johnny's guilt or innocence. EJ, desperate to protect his son, has never been one to play by the rules. In the past, he's quietly slipped money to Leo to sway outcomes in his favor, and now, he's testing the waters again. In a tense conversation in Horton Town Square, EJ doesn't outright offer a bribe, but his words are heavy with implication. "You've always been resourceful, Leo," he says, his eyes gleaming with intent. "I'm sure you could find a way to help Johnny, and yourself." Leo, however, is not the man he once was. Once a schemer who'd jump at the chance for a quick payday, he's trying to turn over a new leaf. The idea of getting tangled up in EJ's schemes no longer holds the allure it once did. "I'm done with that life, EJ," Leo replies, his voice firm despite the temptation. He's got plans of his own, a tell-all book about the trial that he hopes will be his ticket to redemption and financial security. The thought of exposing EJ's machinations on the page is far more appealing than taking his money under the table. The encounter in Horton Town Square doesn't go unnoticed. Passers-by whisper about the heated exchange, and word quickly spreads that EJ tried to pull Leo into his orbit. The jury, already under scrutiny, becomes a focal point of gossip. Could EJ have approached one of them too? The thought sends a chill through Salem, where trust is already in short supply. A suggestion for healing, Kayla's wisdom amid the hospital drama and EJ's scheming. Another storyline unfolds, one that speaks to the heart of Salem's struggles. Kayla, ever the caretaker, has noticed a troubling pattern in Xander Kyriakis, a man known for his fiery temper and impulsive decisions. His latest outbursts have raised eyebrows, and Kayla, in a quiet moment with her colleague Sarah Horton, suggests that Xander might benefit from professional help. Specifically, she recommends Dr. Marlena Evans, Salem's most trusted psychiatrist, whose gentle wisdom has guided countless residents through their darkest moments. Xander's carrying a lot of anger, Kayla tells Sarah, her voice soft but firm. Marlena could help him find a way to manage it before it destroys him, or someone else. Sarah, who cares deeply for Xander, nods thoughtfully, but both women know it's a long shot. Xander, proud and stubborn, is unlikely to agree to therapy. The idea of sitting down with Marlena, bearing his soul, would probably make him scoff. Yet, Kayla can't help but hope. She's seen Marlena work miracles before, helping people untangle the knots of their past to find peace. For Xander, whose life has been a roller coaster of betrayal and loss, that kind of healing could be transformative. A town on edge, what lies ahead? As the drama unfolds, Salem feels like a powder keg waiting for a spark. Kayla's battle with EJ is far from over, and the hospital remains a battleground where principles and power collide. EJ's subtle attempts to manipulate Leo and sway Johnny's trial reveal a man willing to cross any line to protect his family, but at what cost? And Xander, grappling with his own demons, stands at a crossroads that could lead to redemption or ruin. For those of us watching from the sidelines, the question lingers, what's next for these characters we've come to know so well? Will Kayla hold her ground against EJ's relentless pressure, or will she be forced to make compromises that haunt her? Will Leo stay true to his newfound principles, or will EJ's influence pull him back into the shadows? And will Xander take the first step toward healing, or will his anger lead him down a darker path? One thing is certain. In Salem, nothing stays quiet for long. The hospital halls, the town square, and the courtroom are all stages for a drama that's as gripping as it is human. As we wait for the next chapter, we're left to ponder the choices these characters will make, and the consequences that will follow. What did you think of this episode? Did Kayla's suggestion that Xander see Marlena strike a chord with you? Could therapy be the key to taming his wild heart, or is he too set in his ways? And what about EJ's relentless pursuit of control? Will it backfire, or will he once again bend Salem to his will? Let's talk about it, because in Salem, the story is never over.